What's going on, guys? Rich here with another Once Human video. In this video, we're talking about the pirate software discussion they had with Once Human about server resets, wipes, and cosmetics and other things. We're going to go ahead and go through their posts on Twitter about what they talked about, give my thoughts on some of the things they're saying, and then go over the response that Once Human devs gave for this particular post. So let's go ahead and jump in to the stuff. So we have Pirate Software here. If you guys are unfamiliar with him, that would be surprising. But he is a larger content creator on Twitch and YouTube with YouTube Shorts. You probably see him a lot. And he was like an ex-Blizzard employee that has his own game studio, made a game, and is a larger streamer. Talks his mind a lot. Deep, bassy voice. Pretty cool dude. It's kind of refreshing to kind of hear a lot of his takes. So let's go ahead and jump into this and see what he had to say here. Just had an hour-long meeting with the developers and community manager for Once Human. We talked a lot about the character reset seasonal system and how it felt bad for me as a player. We also talked about itemization, cosmetics, and world balance. My take on resets is that optional season resets in games are a fun experience and great in games like Diablo or PoE, but a mandatory reset for a new season feels terrible. I enjoy having the option to join a new season and reset or keep playing my character as is in the non-seasonal content indefinitely. So I'm not sure, guys, you're going to kind of help me out here a little bit, but with Diablo, did you lose everything when it came to the season reset? Because from what it sounds like in Once Human, and if you saw the video that I made put out yesterday or the other day, that you don't really lose all of the things that you've gathered in Once Human. You just lose levels and the memetics chart, skill tree or whatever, which is tied to your levels. And you get that pretty fast. You know, you level up so fast in the game. So I was kind of curious to see like if it's kind of similar to that. Like in Once Human, they're saying you're going to keep your housing blueprints, all your weapon blueprints and gear blueprints, all of the crafting and stuff items like the deviants that you find, and then you'll lose just like a lot of the survival items that you might need, like food and stuff like that. So let me know what it is, all the crafting materials. Um, but I wanted to see what Once Human was like before I made my decision on whether or not I liked it or not. Like it sounded different from Diablo. I haven't played PoE, so I wanted to experience it before I go, yeah, I don't like that. When playing an MMO, item drops carry weight for me, as does my character's levels and statistics. Anything that takes away from that feels like loss of progress and always feels bad. I never want there to be loss of progress in any RPG or MMO that I play. So as far as loss of progress and always feels bad, that's the same way I felt with roguelites. It took me a while to get over that hump, like with, was it Enter the Gungeon? It seems like when you have to go so far and then you start over again, even though you keep like your skills or weapons that you find, it still kind of like sucks to have to do all that over again. Enter the Gungeon was a little bit different because you just kind of jumped right in and it was like the levels changed and stuff. But the Breath of Fire game was the first one where I experienced that, and that was not fun because you had to go through all the story again and over again. I was like, this is dumb. So I can understand that. Each item or level carries a memory. The cool mount drop that time we beat the boss when I finally hit 60. Taking away the item or level diminishes that memory for me and makes me less attached to the game. So I don't know about taking away the level just because of how fast you get them. And I can understand taking away the item, but in this case, you're not losing those items or cosmetics that you have. So I think if you're stuck on losing items or losing your house that you spent time building, I feel like you don't have to worry about that. One of the things they said is that if you didn't even have the materials when you put down your blueprint for the house, it would just use the materials that you had, so you still had the same house. So this is pretty interesting. Item drops in Once Human also cannot be repaired, which immediately made me feel less attached to them. Why farm the cool weapon if I'm going to lose it a few hours from now anyway? Now, I don't know if in Once Human you can farm particular weapon drops from bosses or if it's just random across the board, but I do understand what he's saying with not being repaired immediately makes you feel less attached. I don't understand why you can't repair the weapons in Once Human, like the weapons that you find randomly in chests. I found a wrench somewhere. I just happened to see it in my inventory, like, oh, I got a wrench. And it turns out that that wrench can't be repaired. And a lot of times, if you try to do something with it, certain items, they'll say that you do not own this item. And I'm trying to figure out, like, how is it that I don't own the item that's in my possession that I just found randomly in a crate somewhere? Like, who owns it then? Am I supposed to return it to somebody? So I think they should change that. Like, that could be changed and fixed to where all items can be repaired and people can make the decision or not whether they want to keep it or upgrade it or use it for parts or any of that stuff. But to say that you don't own it is kind of weird. They say I would much rather repair these items even if it's more expensive resource-wise, as it lets me keep that drop I farmed for. Crafted weapons and armor aren't really a draw and feel like baselines that I should use only when I have to. And so I think with crafted weapons and armor, they should have some kind of like ultimate legendary weapons and armor that you have to go for that you can craft out. And of course, you would keep the blueprints for that. But at the same time, after you craft and with the reset, after you craft your armor, you would have the blueprints, but the armor would reset. So that would have to be something that would actually have to be able to withstand resets if that's something that they continue to go through with. Cosmetics currently are also per character, which feel very bad. I would much rather have these account wide. Currently, I have no reason to buy a cosmetic, as I would then have to rebuy it for each character I make. Why should I buy a cool hat multiple times just because I made multiple characters? Not interested. This is an interesting one also because when the game first launched, it was just one character that you could have made, and they opened it up to multiple characters. And so I wonder if they had that in place because they figured they would just be okay with people having one character and realized that people were not happy with having one character, so they opened it up more. But in the end, that caused a snowball effect, which caused the cosmetics to not be able to be placed, all over the place or used by multiple characters. So now, which we'll see when I go into the next part, which is their response, they're going to actually have cosmetics be account wide in the future. And it's not too long from now, actually. So it says they were incredibly receptive to the feedback and understood that a number of you feel the same way about the game. Please do reach out to them and let them know how you feel. They are absolutely listening to you. Change just takes time. Also, before you turn into stinkers in the comments, hell no, they didn't pay me for this. I like what the game could be, and the devs wanted to talk about my negative experience. And I'd like to see more devs or more people, more creators, more larger creators, at least be able to share their opinions with the devs and have this conversation that they share with us that aren't that large, so we can make our decisions on whether or not we agree with that or not, and just be able to have a discussion around the direction that these games, in this case, Once Human, may take. Like maybe we may not feel the same way about the resets that Pirate Studio does. I think his name is Thor, that he does. So let's go ahead and jump to the next part of this, which is the Once Human response. So Once Human quote tweeted Pirate Software, and they said, "Thank you so much for taking the time to discuss with us and provide such detailed feedback about Once Human's gameplay. We understand Meta's concern about the mandatory seasonal resets and how they can affect your sense of progression and attachment to your character." So they said that they're looking into it in the live stream last night, but they don't have anything to go off of that right now because that's a huge part of how this game works right now. So they can't just really go, okay, no resets. They have to actually rework some stuff to make sure that they can branch off and do that. And if you haven't yet, give the video a like for me, please. Thanks. We also recognize that cosmetics being tied to individual characters can be frustrating. We plan to make all purchased cosmetics accessible across multiple characters within the same account by August. If you have already purchased the same cosmetic on different characters within the same account, we will refund the consumed chrysogen or other in-game currency for the additional purchases once the cosmetics are account-wide. Now, this one, the chrysogen, is the only currency that you can use, that you can pay for, and that currency only works for cosmetics in the game, right now at least. So they'll refund that chrysogen that you used if you purchase multiple cosmetics for different houses or characters. They also said that in the live stream, and I have a video up here, they said that the characters, the cosmetics from the battle pass, from the premium battle pass, will be count wide also, but not the battle pass itself. And I think I can go into that here real quick.
Any news on server changes? I don't want to lose my purchase for trying to play with my friends. All the purchase, like cosmetics, all the paid cosmetics, including the battle pass cosmetics, will be inherited to the account wide. Right now it's not, but we are working on the features. It's the high priority. So in the future, whichever character you purchase the paid cosmetics, it will be heritage to other characters in any service that within your account. Okay.
So they said heritage into other characters. That's just another way of saying grandfathered, and that's probably the word he was looking for. So it says, to all metas, not just pirate software, if you have any comments or feedback about Once Human, please leave a message in the comments section on our official Discord. We will carefully review every piece of feedback. As we mentioned in the dev stream, if metas have any concerns, confusions, or uncertainties, we will promptly respond. Once again, thank you for your support and love for Once Human. We look forward to making Once Human better with your company. And they seem really receptive. If you haven't seen the live stream, it was like the 11th, and they did one on the 10th and the 9th. I was just going back and looking at them because they actually were communicative with the audience, the chat, and they answered questions as they were able to see them and sung happy birthday to people, even when that was a troll name, but they said the name wrong, so it didn't come out sounding bad. So it was all right. But that's a lot of ums here, sorry. But that's this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about Once Human and you want to ask me or want me to find out about them, let me know. As far as PS5 goes, they mentioned console in that stream also. They said they were waiting for the mobile version to come out, which will be Q3, and then they'll probably have consoles next year. So that's where we are on that. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully I can get you guys some tips and info and some guides on this game. But I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you in the next one.